Since time immemorial, the world has admired the beauty, strength, and power of Turkmen Alabai dogs. Their noble and regal posture, fearlessness, and resilience have made these wolfhounds famous far beyond their homeland. Turkmen Alabai, not just a dog, it is a living legend and a national pride. It is no wonder that this breed has been officially recognized as the national treasure of Turkmenistan, and since 2019, the export of purebred Alabai from the country has been banned by law. Together with the Akalteke steed, the Alabai has become a symbol of the nation. The question arises, how did the Turkmen manage to preserve one of the oldest dog breeds in its purity? Breed history. The secret of the breed's survival lies in the very history of these dogs, shaped by harsh conditions. For centuries, Alabai lived alongside nomads, herding livestock in the scorching sands of the Karakum Desert and on the cold mountain plateaus of the Kopet Dagh. During the day, the air heats up to 50 degrees Celsius, and in winter there are severe frosts in the mountains. But these dogs continue to serve humans and survive in the harshest conditions. The vast desert expanses, scarce food, and constant struggle with predators have shaped their appearance and iron character. Nature endowed the Alabai with immense strength, thick, invulnerable skin, and powerful jaws. And constant battles with wolves have honed its combat skills to perfection. The life of the Turkmen Alabai is inseparable from the life of the shepherd. Since ancient times, there has been a strict natural selection. Only the strongest and most resilient survive, and only the best produce offspring. During the heat, all the local males gather around the female, and fights break out among them. The strongest wins. He becomes the father of the puppies. No less strict was the artificial selection conducted by the shepherds themselves. Only large, healthy, and brave wolfhounds were kept in the breed, those that became famous in battles with predators. Cowardly, lazy, and aggressive dogs towards people were mercilessly culled. As a result, a standard was formed, a true Turkmen Alabai, a large, massive, yet resilient dog with an independent mind and balanced temperament. It is fierce towards wolves, but loyal and obedient to its owner. Turkmens value an impressive appearance, but above all, working qualities and pure blood. It is believed that aggressiveness towards predators is one of the most important traits of a wolfhound. If it is absent, no matter how much you feed the dog, it will be of no use. Thanks to centuries of selection, the Turkmen Alabai has reached us in almost its original form, healthy, resilient, and dedicated to its tasks. This breed is figuratively called the dog created by the wind, and the wind serves those who strive for freedom. Appearance. Now let's get to know the Turkmen Alabai more closely. This is a large, powerfully built dog. An adult male reaches 70 to 80 centimeters at the withers, but does not appear loose. Working Alabais are usually lean, sinewy, weighing 50 to 70 kilograms. Anything unnecessary that hinders work is absent in these dogs. The head of the wolfhound is massive, broad in the cranial part with slightly protruding cheekbones. The teeth are large, closing in a scissor bite. The fangs are valued not for their length, but for their thickness and strength. A long, thin fang can break, but a wide and sturdy one can withstand any load. The ears are small, triangular, hanging, set low at eye level. Traditionally, puppies have their ears and tails cropped at an early age. This protects them in fights. The eyes of the Alabai are small, round, and set quite deep. The most practical is the triangular eye shape. Nature ensured that wind and sand do not harm them. The thick eyelids give the gaze a stern, slightly frowning expression. Overall, the look is calm and confident. The Alabai does not fuss without reason. The tail of this breed is thick and set high. In a fight, a long tail can be a hindrance, so it is often shortened in puppies. The neck of the Alabai is short, very muscular and powerful, with a dewlap. Such a bulldog-like neck is an important weapon. The wolfhound delivers stronger jerks and blows than a dog with a long neck. The wolfhound's skin is very thick, forming folds on the withers. It's hard for a wolf to bite through such armor. The fur is coarse, dense, with a thick undercoat. In winter, the Alabai grows a coat that can protect against both cold and wind. In summer, it sheds, leaving a shorter but dense fur that protects against heat. The color varies widely, from white and black to brindle and spotted. However, neither the color nor the length of the fur is as important as the main thing. The dog should be healthy, strong, and fearless. Behavior. The character of the Turkmen Alabai was formed under the harshest conditions. and it surprisingly combines kindness towards its own and ferocity towards enemies. This is an independent, intelligent, and balanced dog. It watches the herd for hours without barking unnecessarily. It is not afraid of thunder or gunshots. It has nerves of steel. At the same time, the Alabai is very loyal to humans and obedient to its owner. Aggressiveness towards people was initially suppressed in these dogs. Shepherds simply did not keep overly vicious ones, fearing for the herd and family. Therefore, most native Alabai are friendly or neutral towards humans. If the owner is nearby, the wolfhound will calmly react even to a stranger, at most warning with a bark. But once night falls, it's better not to approach the flock uninvited. With the sunset, an ancient instinct awakens. The area around the herd is informally divided by the Alabai into a forbidden zone, and strangers will not be allowed in. First, a low warning growl will be heard from the darkness. If the intruder does not back off, the Alabai will attack swiftly and silently, trying to immediately bring down the enemy. But an important point, if the shepherd comes out and calls the dog, it will immediately stop the attack and step back. A true Alabai will never confuse a friend with a foe. It is infinitely gentle and patient with its own and absolutely ruthless to a predator. Work in the flock. The behavior and instincts of Alabai are most evident in a real pasture. Imagine a mountain camp, hundreds of sheep under the supervision of several dogs. During the day, the Alabai try to rest in the shade, conserving energy for the night. But as soon as it gets dark, they get to work. In a typical flock, there's usually one adult male leader, one or two experienced females, and several young dogs. At the slightest danger, the young ones will be the first to raise the alarm, eagerly and loudly. If a puppy barks, a wolf might think it can handle it, but then the females rush to help. The thunderous barking of adult females usually scares off jackals. If a serious fight breaks out, the seasoned male steps forward. He charges at the wolf without barking suddenly, and most often the predator flees, encountering such fierce resistance. Alabais, when protecting the flock, act very strategically. They drive away wolves but do not chase them too far. An experienced dog never gets carried away with the chase. It's as if he knows that his main task is not to kill the wolf, but to protect the sheep. Therefore, it quickly returns to the flock after the enemy has retreated. A smart Alabai would rather starve than touch its own sheep. Shepherds know this and greatly value such dogs. Of course, people try to provide the wolfhounds with the best, but the conditions in the mountains are far from ideal. They are fed simply dry flatbread, water, sometimes meat from a fallen sheep, or offal brought by the owner of the flock. Everything that is not suitable for human consumption is given to the dogs. Nevertheless, Alabai are not picky and can find food for themselves. I personally saw a hungry dog crack open a turtle and eat the contents, a can prepared by nature. These dogs will survive anywhere, and they heal simply. They lick small wounds themselves. For serious ones, the shepherd cauterizes them with a hot knife or sprinkles them with ash from the fire. For worms, he gives them dried sheepskin to swallow, an old remedy. Alabais rarely get sick. Their natural immunity is amazing. You could say the native wolfhound does not require pampered care. They live a long time for such a large breed, 15 years or more, if they're lucky. A bit about breeding traditions. In the past, breeders valued only the best dogs. Extra puppies might simply not be raised, focusing all efforts on the most promising ones. Nowadays, this practice is almost non-existent, but even today, Turkmen breeders are very demanding. He only raises truly outstanding puppies. Alabai puppies, as they have for centuries, are born under the care of nature itself. The female dog digs a burrow and gives birth without human assistance. On the 10th day, the puppy's tails and ears are cropped for their own safety. The mother licks the wounds, the shepherd cauterizes the blood, and then the puppies grow up free and strong. In a couple of weeks, they are already playfully fighting with each other. In play, they hone their fighting skills. Older puppies are taken on night duty with the adults. The older dogs teach the young ones to guard the sheep, setting an example of endurance and bravery. Such a natural kindergarten is the best school for the wolfhound. Differences from show dogs. Unfortunately, outside of their native land, the true appearance of the Alabai is often distorted. The The pursuit of profit has led to the emergence of decorative Alabai, huge, fat, clumsy, and lacking the fighting spirit. They are kept as status guards in courtyards, shown at exhibitions, but such dogs are of little use in a real fight. Shepherds, looking at a photograph of a 100-kilogram male, would just smirk. Such a dog wouldn't last a day in the mountains. Indeed, a well-fed giant may be impressive in size, but try making it run through the mountains. In a minute, it will be down from shortness of breath. And as for fighting a wolf, there's no chance. Such a giant lacks both skill and aggression. As for the couch champion's health, it's simply a disaster. The heart and joints are overloaded, obesity develops, leading to many diseases. In general, it's not a wolfhound, but rather an unsuccessful imitation. The reason for degeneration is the loss of natural selection and indiscriminate breeding for money. In cities, puppies are mass-produced for sale, selecting pairs based on size and impressive appearance rather than genetic strength. Thus, lines of dogs with weakened psyche and body appeared. Some became overly aggressive towards people, or on the contrary, apathetic. Many lost their proper appearance, became leggy, bloated, lost the balance for which native wolfhounds are famous. In my opinion, such degenerates are not worth the wool of a simple gulnara, an ordinary flock bitch. After all, they cannot defeat the wolf. Sometimes enthusiasts try to train an Alabai as a service dog. They take it to the training ground, teach it to sit, to fetch. In Central Asia, they would just throw up their hands at this. Shepherds say, a dog broken by training will become useless because in a critical moment, it will wait for a command instead of acting. Wolves attack at night when the owner is asleep. Who will shout the command? Therefore, the wolfhound must think and decide on its own. It is precisely this ability that decorative dogs accustomed to all standard commands lose. Their instinct dulls and they feel like performers, not guards. Turkmens never specifically train the Alabai. It only needs a couple of simple commands like come and no. Then it learns on its own, gaining experience from the older ones. Practice shows that such a natural school is much better than training. Of course, not all city Alabai are bad. Some breeders have begun to understand the value of the native gene pool and are reintroducing working lines into breeding. But the future of the breed is still tied to its historical homeland. Where there are pastures and predators, there will always be work for a true wolfhound. And no imported mastiff or shepherd can replace him with the herd. Only in a natural environment does the Alabai fully reveal its character and incredible abilities. That breed is still being perfected there, just like thousands of years ago. Fighter examples. For example, in the Nohur Mountains, I met the famous wolfhound Boris. He is 5 years old, and he has already driven away wolves on his own more than once. His body is covered with scars. Each scar proves that Boris will never retreat when defending his sheep. At the same time, he is friendly to people. Upon hearing his owner's voice, he immediately wags his tail in a welcoming manner. But a wolf will definitely not have a good time if it dares to approach. The shepherd raised Boris from a puppy and is proud of him as a family member. In the same flock, a young dog named Agush, Whitebird, was raised. He is 4 years old, the son of another legendary wolfhound, the female Mashka, who is already 8 years old, but she is still the first to attack any wolf. Agush inherited courage and strength from his mother. He has a large, noble head, powerful paws, and most importantly, fearlessness. He has already proven himself by driving away several predators from the flock. Even at night, when other dogs doze off, Agush often patrols around the sheep, a very responsible guard. Another example is the red male dog Gaplan, Tiger. This is a pedigreed beauty of 4 years, who even became a breed champion at the exhibition in Ashgabat. Gaplan weighs about 70 kilograms, yet he is agile and resilient, no fat. His ancestors are the legendary wolfhounds Ushgun and Gizeli Gaplan, and he fully lives up to his pedigree. Despite his titles, Gaplan remains at heart a simple mountain dog. At home, he guards the yard as zealously as his grandfather once guarded the flock in the desert. In Tejin lives a veteran named Pelvan, warrior hero. He is almost 10 years old, but in his youth he became famous. At 2 years old, he single-handedly strangled an adult wolf. After this incident, the shepherd was offered a huge amount of money for Pelvan, but he refused. Without such a dog, he understood the herd would be lost. Indeed, a few years ago, Pelvan saved his herd by fending off an attack from a large pack of wolves. For his loyalty, he will remain honored and well-fed by his owner for the rest of his life. Geiselbash, redhead, another native Alabai that impressed me. He has a broad skull, a confident squint, and dozens of scars all over his body. Not one has become inflamed, the strongest immunity. Geiselbash is gentle with people, but if he senses a wolf, his eyes light up and he's ready to fight. They say he once drove away 3 jackals on his own, and I believe it. Also, this dog showed himself to be smart. He rejected the sausage I tried to treat him with. He sniffed and turned away proudly, but he ate a dry piece of flatbread with appetite. The shepherd praised his favorite. He knows his food. Such a wise wolfhound. Finally, Ajdar, the dragon, a living symbol of the breed. He is 7.5 years old. He started life as an ordinary shepherd dog and later became a champion of the national exhibition. Ajdar is a huge male dog with a perfectly balanced physique, a short, powerful neck, a strong, dry head, coarse fur. There's nothing to criticize. At the celebration, the best wolfhound was draped with a traditional carpet on its back, the highest honor, a symbol that we are looking at the pride of the nation. But for me, it's more important that Ajdar has retained his working spirit. He is intelligent, calm, very kind to people, even a bit shy outside of combat. In his dark, deep eyes, the wisdom of the years lived can be seen. I looked at him and thought, here he is, a true Turkmen Alabai, combining the ancient power of nature and the kindness of a domestic friend.
Ух ты! О, смотри! Молодец!
Of course, these are just a few examples. Every shepherd has their favorite dog and their own story about it. There are countless such stories, all filled with pride, admiration, and gratitude towards this amazing breed. Dear viewers, thank you for watching until the end. I shared this story with great love for the Alabais and hope that you also felt pride for our wolfhounds. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There are many more expeditions and stories about real Alabai ahead. Your feedback and support are very important to us. You can support the channel through the Super Thanks feature or on Patreon, link in the comments. Any support will go towards new trips to the mountains to show you the pure truth about this breed. Thank you for your attention and see you next time.